Thanks to the announcements at San Diego Comic-Con 2022, in which Kevin Feige announced that the two big Avengers movies will culminate the multiverse saga, starting with Avengers the Kang Dynasty and lead to Avengers Secret Wars, which essentially serves as the big multiversal event that wraps up the multiverse saga and takes inspiration from Jonathan Hickman's 2015 Secret Wars run, with incursions and different multiversal counterparts or doppelgangers crossing over into one big event to defeat the main villain. Kang the Conqueror serves as this phase / saga's Thanos, essentially, as he manipulates time and the stability of the multiverse to enact his overall endgame plan for the universe. And I'm sure Marvel will do a pretty decent job of leading up to Secret Wars, but there is one gigantic inherent problem that I have with having Avengers Secret Wars this soon, especially due to the fact that we haven't even been introduced to either Doctor Doom or the Fantastic Four yet. In the comics, Doctor Doom essentially serves as the main villain of Secret Wars as he, gathers the powers of the Beyonders to essentially take over Battleworld or create Battleworld, which were the remnants of destroyed universes due to incursions, thus becoming God Emperor Doom. But the fact that it would be impossible for them to have Doctor Doom the main villain in Secret Wars due to the fact that we're only getting one Fantastic Four movie beforehand. And this kind of serves as a problem because the Fantastic Four and Doctor Doom are really the center focus of the Secret Wars event in the comics. And now obviously things don't have to be comic accurate to T101. Obviously there are, adaptations and inspirations, things that are based on. But I think a really big question that comes from this is that if the focus won't be on that team, then who will lead us to Secret Wars? With the Infinity Saga, obviously the main 6 Avengers, like Tony, Steve, Thor, and whatnot, kind of led us to the encounter with Thanos in Infinity War and Endgame. But with the multiverse saga and Kang the Conqueror and Secret Wars, who will be kind of the leads to help us go from point A to point B when it comes to encountering Kang? We know characters like Loki and Sylvie play a really massive part into it, and maybe Ant-Man to a certain degree, but that movie kind of shoe-lined the exiled Kang that kind of was the catalyst for the Council of Kangs or the Kang Dynasty to take action as they see how the Earth 616 heroes are kind of causing a muck throughout the multiverse. And then in the comics, there was a really big build-up to the Secret Wars event. It was sort of a culmination of the Jonathan Hickman run on Marvel, with the new Avengers, his Fantastic Four run, Secret Warriors, all this kind of coming together in this epic multiversal event, and sort of as kind of a love letter to the Fantastic Four and Doctor Doom. And the Ultimates universe was also a really big important factor into that, as the Ultimates universe and the main Earth 616 comic universe kind of collided into one another, being the main incursion that caused the ramifications of the creation of Battleworld. But so far there's only been one other Earth that we've mainly visited, that being Earth 838 and Doctor Strange the Multiverse of Madness. But other than that, Marvel as of right now hasn't really spent a lot of time exploring the multiverse. So I feel like, if you look into account of that, they might be jumping things too quickly, because by the time they do introduce Doctor Doom, let's say he becomes the next big bad after Kang, then what really big storyline would they do that would serve as that version's Secret Wars or Endgame, whatever, the big event culminating the events of that specific saga? Obviously they can't do Secret Wars again because they had already did it with Kang the Conqueror. But on a more positive side, then I guess you could see the fact that Secret Wars will most definitely shake up the Marvel Cinematic Universe in one way, shape, or form, and will most definitely introduce us to the proper MCU 616 version of mutants, and further solidify the presence of the Fantastic Four, and hopefully have them be the main center focus of the universe going forward. And as of the current Phase 4 and Phase 5 projects that have released so far, the only ones that have any significant ties to either the multiverse or Kang the Conqueror's overall plan with the Kang Dynasty, that being with Doctor Strange the Multiverse of Madness, Loki Seasons 1 and upcoming Season 2, and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. And when you look at the future slate for Phase 5 leading up to Kang Dynasty or Secret Wars, none of them really solidify the presence of multiversal incursions in the upcoming threat. There are obviously, movies or TV shows like Loki Season 2, Deadpool 3, maybe even Fantastic Four that will somehow tie within maybe time travel with Deadpool 3 or the different timelines in Loki Season 2, and obviously with Kang the Conqueror's presence in Loki. But how that will tie in to the ramifications of both Avengers movies, we're just gonna have to wait and see.